Survivor Series this year is shaping up to be very interesting with rumoured returns, rumoured debuts, a fifth member still to be found in the men's WarGames match, and a few matches yet to be announced. Welcome to the 2 Count, where we're going to try and predict the full match card and this year's results of Survivor Series.
Yeah, first up, we have a bold prediction which will see Team Nia Jax face off against Team Io Sky. Team Nia Jax consists of Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez and Piper Niven, with Chelsea Green, who will be outside the WarGames chamber. Team Io Sky consists of Io Sky,
Rhea Ripley,
Naomi, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. For this one, I'm going to go with Team Io Sky to come out on top.
I think I've got to agree, mate. To be fair, I think Team Io Sky, I can't seem to find a way where you have a team full of champions as the heel side in the whole story come out on top.
Yeah, and what kind of sways it? Whereas I would like to see the champions come out on top. You've got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and I just can't see them ever losing when they're on a team with 3 other competitors who are main event stars. I don't think they're going to make them look weak as the tag team champions.
So we have Team Io Sky coming out on top, Survivor Series Match 1.
Yeah, and then we move on to what I think will be the Intercontinental Championship match. I know that there's rumours that this match will happen on Raw, but I can see it going on through to Survivor Series, and that's Braun Breaker, who will defend his championship against Sheamus. I have Braun Breaker coming out on top.
I was tempted to go with Sheamus, but I think, well, Braun Breaker's just lost the title, then regained it. I don't think they would do that again to him. It's going to make him into just a paper champion, a transitional champion. He wants to be a main event player. He wants to be champion for a long time. Hell, hold that title with prestige like Gunther did, and I feel like he needs to retain to do that. I think he will retain. He will retain Braun Breaker.
Yeah. You've taken the words out of my mouth, because I was about to say I think that they'll go the same way that they went with Gunther. Test him out as the Intercontinental Champion, make him into a bit of a monster with it, and then push him into the main event scene. With Sheamus, I think the Intercontinental Championship is the only title he hasn't won, so that keeps him away from being a Grand Slam champion. And I think that'll be the storyline. I think he will win the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he'll do it against Braun Breaker, though. I think if they do run this on Raw and Survivor Series, I think it'll be 2-0 to Braun. I think if, like you said, it goes to Mania, there might be a third competitor added to it, potentially a fourth, and one of those two will eat the pinfall. Sheamus will win the title, but Braun won't lose the champ. Well, he won't be the one to get pinned to lose his championship. And then he might win it back from Sheamus the next night. Who knows? Let's move on to the US Championship match. And we actually found out the number 1 contender at the house show that we went to last week. It's LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes. I've gone with Carmelo Hayes to win the championship. I think LA Knight has done a great job as US champion. I think Carmelo Hayes will be the heel champion that the US Championship needs. He did great on the mic at the house show. He was great in the ring. I think, and I'd like to see Carmelo Hayes go over here.
I think Logan Paul is going to play a part in this. I feel like Carmelo Hayes will take the victory, and I feel like Logan Paul will play a massive part in it. Just a bold prediction. I feel like he will cause a major upset, and Carmelo Hayes take the title from LA Knight, leading to eventually like something like what we just talked about with the Intercontinental title towards Mania. In that kind of fatal four-way maybe for the US title.
Ooh.
We've got Logan Paul on his way back. Arguably, he's just around the corner. We've got Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight. Imagine that match as a fatal four-way. Logan Paul, he's almost guaranteed a shot on his return.
Yeah. Just following on from what you said then about a Fatal 4-Way at minute, I'd love to see both the mid-card championships defended in Fatal 4-Way matches.
Yep.
I think that'd be awesome. Didn't see that Logan Paul call come in, but it makes sense. So,
yeah,
I might want to keep an eye on. Right, we'll move on to our WWE Championship match. This is another bold prediction from us. There's not a match set in stone. I'm going to go for... It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes is going to retain. They had the match at Bash in Berlin, but obviously that was friend versus friend. This is heel Kevin Owens versus face Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes will win. And I think that's with Kevin Owens writing off Randy Orton until potentially the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that's the match to make. I think you said this to me earlier. I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes confronting Kevin Owens about what he's done to Randy Orton. I feel like that's going to lead to an attack, which we've already seen happen, and I feel like that'll then lead on to a match. It's the only way to go, in my opinion. What's Cody going to do? Is he going to join and be involved with the Bloodline again? We don't want to see that. We've had 4 years of it. We don't want to see it. So, yeah, no, I feel like that's the match to make, and I feel like Cody Rhodes is obviously going over.
Yeah. So that brings us to our penultimate match, which will be Gunther versus Damian Priest. I was confident in Gunther retaining. I'm still going to go with Gunther, but there's potential there for Priest to win this one.
Do you know what? I feel like the title will change hands before the end of the year, and it will change back again before the Royal Rumble. So okay. I am going to go left field, and I am going to choose Damian Priest. Just because, hear me out, I think Gunther is carrying an injury.
Okay.
I think he's carrying an injury, which would explain the reason of absence in the week-to-week match. He's not having week-to-week matches anymore like he used to do. And we can't associate that with him just being champion, because you've got Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins was week in, week out. Damian Priest was week in, week out. Gunther hasn't been. And he's not been very active at live shows. Not been on any live shows, really. So I think Gunther's carrying an injury, and Damian Priest is going to go over and take the title back. Give time for Gunther to heal up and come back and win it, possibly before the end of the year or at the Royal Rumble.
That makes sense with what we saw on Raw. I'd not connected those dots, but it seemed very strange to me that Gunther suddenly went from this champion and this person that was scared of nobody to worried about fighting Damian Priest, and he didn't want to get into a fight, and he kind of walked away, and it felt very out of character for him. But now that you've said that, it makes sense. That could be a prediction at night, you know.
Yeah.
And move on to what will be the main event, our final match: OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline, 5th members. I've gone with the kind of fantasy book in this one. I've gone with the New Bloodline's 5th member being The Rock. I know that you've got a different opinion on that one. And OG Bloodline, I've gone with CM Punk. Right, listen to it. Hear me out. Because I'm thinking maybe on the night, Paul Heyman shows up. CM Punk, Paul Heyman again. CM Punk's a Paul Heyman guy. The last time that they spoke, Paul Heyman wanted to get out of the Bloodline, and he was asking CM Punk to take him with him. I can't see anybody else joining the OG Bloodline if it's not going to be Seth Rollins. But I'm thinking if they don't go down that route, I'll be honest, I had no idea who to pick. I went with CM Punk. I've gone with the winners being, I think it'll be 2-0. I think we're going to go with the New Bloodline, and I think that's going to come across. Because Sami Zayn turns on OG Bloodline. I know that's left field, but there's lots of history there. Roman's still being in himself. He's still been a bit controlling. And I think there's going to be some PTSD on Sami's part. When it comes down to it, I think he's not forgiven Roman for what he's done to him.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I think I'm going to go with... I think you already know what I'm going to go with, but I'm going to go with more of the obvious approach to things. It's family. Keep it within the family. I see the fifth members being two people which one has been confirmed to have been signed by the WWE. One is heavily rumoured, not taking any independent promotion bookings anymore. And that being Hikuleo or Talatonga and Zilla Fatu. I'm going to go with Hikuleo as Talatonga debuting with the New Bloodline and Zilla Fatu with the OG Bloodline. I know that's a stretch.
Wow. Okay.
I know that is a stretch. I feel like it is a perfect time to debut two new members of the family, because how long are you going to wait to debut somebody who was signed months ago? There was already reports they're waiting for the right time, and people have been clamouring for this match for so long. The Crown Jewel one was a rush, and we know that politics played a big part in that match being on that card. Otherwise, WWE would not have pushed it that early. They would have waited and had the build done perfectly. I feel like people have been clamouring for so long that that's what we need. We need it to be family on family with no outside people involved, and I feel like that's the perfect way to go. I do think The Rock will make an appearance, and I feel like he will become evidently known to everybody as the one who's been the puppet master to the New Bloodline.
Yeah. Okay, so who's winning?
OG Bloodline is winning this, taking it to 1-1, and I feel like it will culminate potentially at a WrestleMania Rock versus Roman Reigns face-off.
Okay, so you've gone completely different to me. I've gone with Sami turning on the OG Bloodline. I've gone with New Bloodline kind of dominating. You've gone with it evening up the score, leading up to Mania. I do think mine leads to Mania. But yeah, that is how we think Survivor Series may go. Obviously, we differ in our opinions. We'll probably revisit this as more of the card gets announced. Maybe they'll announce some of the match that we've said. Maybe they'll go a different direction. If they go a different direction, then we are going to have to kind of adjust our predictions.
It's also worth noting, guys, that we are going to be live streaming our reaction to Survivor Series on the 30th of November. So be there, be ready for the live stream. It's going to be good. And leave your predictions below. Who do you think will win the men's War Game match? Who do you think will win the women's War Game match? Leave your predictions below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more content as always, and we will see you on the next one.